Shalom. I want to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahaha Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another lesson through the spirit. Peace and salutations to the whole elect out there pushing this truth with peace and sincerity. Lord willing, we all be able to, Lord willing, we all be able to elect brothers out there pushing this truth. Things of that nature. Coming back at y'all with a lesson through the spirit, man. It's been a lot going on these past few days, so I haven't been able to actually sit down and do a lesson. But nonetheless, though, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on this article I seen earlier today. A few precepts concerning the topic, and Lord willing, the lesson be edifying to those out there listening and watching. Not nothing too crazy, man. Like I always say, my lessons typically on one or two things, and that being either women, women, judgment, which it is today, or current events going on in the news. And you know what I'm saying? In my camp lesson tomorrow, maybe I'll do a recap on what's been going on in the news, because I haven't been following it to the best of my abilities like I typically do. So maybe that'll be what I do my lesson on tomorrow, man. Lord willing, unless I figure something else to do, of course. But yeah, man. With that being said, Slocky, let me see something real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this video, man. It says at least 500 deleted in Southeast Asia floods and landslides. So that's the deal, man. That's what's going on over there in that land. Let's see where she's talking about. The Lord is starting to do numbers, man, and we've been saying this, but it's gonna continue to happen, man. The Lord is doing numbers, and it's gonna continue to happen, right? As we get further and further into these days, man, further and further into these days, the Lord's gonna continue to do numbers. And it's not by accident, it's not by coincidence. It's not none of that. It's for the simple fact of the, the avenging the blood of the saints. Let me see if I can get that. Salaki, this might be second Esdras 15. Second Esdras 15:7. This is what I was thinking about. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things. in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. Like I say, man, as the days go on, the wickedness continues on. The Lord's just about to start eliminating people more and more. More and more, man. And with that, you know what I'm saying, more and more days gonna wake up. And that is if the elect hasn't already been sealed, right? Because there's no telling, man, right? Might have shut the doors already. It's just a matter of time as to when all of this stuff is gonna go down, right? We could be in that phase of things. You never know. Nonetheless, though, it says the death toll from devastating floods and landslides in Southeast Asia reportedly climbed past 500 on Saturday as cleanup and search and rescue operations got underway in Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. And you know, Thailand is one of those cities that have a lot of wickedness going on, right? Thailand is one of those places where there's a lot of lady boys, as I would say, lady boys going on over there, man. A lot of transformers, so to speak. But let me continue reading. It says, heavy monsoon rain overwhelmed swathes of the three countries this week, deleting hundreds and leaving thousands stranded, many on rooftops, awaiting rescue. And it's okay, man. If you all are unaware or don't know, you know what I'm saying, things such as this and even worse perils, worse troubles are going to come upon Babylon the Great for all of the iniquities that is committed, man, right? As the Lord says, you know, his eyes are on the sinful kingdom. I'll pull that out. I'm going to say that's it. God. The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 8. And if you all haven't read this is a good chapter. It talks about, you know, the wicked trying to escape judgment. And what's the word I'm looking for? In the verses above this. The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh, the Most High Power, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Now, when it says that the Lord's not going to utterly destroy the house of Jacob, it's talking about, you know, the elect of Jacob, which is why we always say and pray that we're a part of the elect of the house of Israel, because those are the only Israelites that are going to receive salvation, as is mentioned in the book of Zechariah, chapter 3. And it's like the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, and verse 8 and 9. But the Lord's eyes are indeed upon the sinful kingdom, man. He says, let me read it again, because the sinful kingdom is talking about Babylon the Great, right? This is the place on the earth where the most wickedness takes place. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord, the Most High Power, Yahweh, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, right? Because you have people out here who don't believe in the Lord, who don't believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're just complete non-believers. You know, they don't fear at all. They just go about life committing sin. That's why I say the wicked of the whole earth, right, are about to be judged, is what I was saying in my lesson yesterday. He's going to sift us through the nations because we're spread amongst the nations for generations. So some of us are Jake, but look like a heathen nations, right? That's why we say it's not a black thing, it's not a color thing, because you have to judge based on the spirit. Now, continuing on, I don't want to ramble. It says rescuers in Indonesia were struggling to reach the worst affected areas of Sumatra Island, where at least 350 people have died and 279 are still missing. If y'all think this is something, the Lord used to do numbers for real. He used to kill 10,000s of people, 10,000s of people, you know what I'm saying? Whole nations, right? Whole nations of people back in the day. So this is really nothing. We haven't seen anything yet for real. This is the Lord flexing his power on a small scale, so to speak. He could really make some shit shake for real. It says the death toll in North Sumatra rose to 166, while 90 people died in West Sumatra. Rescuers also retrieved 47 bodies in Aceh, said Suharyanto, head of the National Disaster Management Agency. More than 3,500 police were deployed to search for people still missing and help distribute aid to more than 28,400 who fled to temporary government shelters across the province. And I want to say this, man, it always feels like it's like something going on, like some type of big natural disaster going on in that region, man. And I know that's not for no reason, right? But I noticed that, you know what I'm saying, in Asia and stuff like that, you know. I want to say it was either in Japan or China. I want to say Japan, where they were having like those big tsunami warnings and stuff like that, and threats over there in Japan, somewhere around that area. Earlier this year, man, because of all those earthquakes and stuff like that were taking place under that sea. It says about 80,000 people have been evacuated, and hundreds. Oh yeah, also in Burma, Myanmar, they had that really big earthquake that deleted a lot of people. I want to say it was either in the hundreds or the thousands, man. It was really bad though. It says, let me read this. Salaki. It says about 80,000 people have been evacuated, and hundreds are still stranded in three provinces across Sumatra Island. Indonesia's westernmost area. Suharyanto told a news conference, adding that a cloud seeding operation will begin in West Sumatra to reduce the rainfall, most of which had already subsided by Saturday. And if you all remember that, it was just kind of going into the HARP weapons and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, weather modification that they use, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes they'll use it or at least they'll say that they use it to seed clouds, you know what I'm saying. If a place hasn't had rainfall in a very long time, they'll use that as a way to bring forth rain if the land is very dry, stuff like that. They can also create hurricanes and shit like that with it, and tornadoes as well, I want to say. I went into that in other lessons, so I'm not going to go deep into it tonight. It says, most of which had already subsided by Saturday. Yeah, in Thailand, more than 1.4 million households, 3.8 million people have been affected by the floods, the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation said on Saturday. In southern Thailand, water levels reached 3 meters in Songkhla province and deleted at least 145 people in one of the worst floods in a decade. I even mentioned this in my lesson yesterday as well, man, because people seem to not understand that the Lord is the one who brings forth destruction on the earth. Salaki. The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? The Lord brings forth these disasters that go on upon the earth, and there's no one else to credit for it. He might do it through different avenues of different people, right? But at the end of the day, it's all at the hands of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. It says, surely the Lord, Yahweh, the Most High Power, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, which is why we're able to stay up to date with things going on in the news, current events, right? We're able to discern and prophesy and match these things up within the scriptures. And that's not from our hands. Like I said, he'll do it through people. It's not because we, are doing it, but it's because the Lord have bestowed the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding on us to be able to do it, right? So it's not for us to take credit for. It says the country's death toll across 8 provinces has risen to 162, the government said on Saturday. Workers at one hospital in hard-hit Hat Yai moved bodies into refrigerated trucks after the morgue exceeded capacity. Prime Minister Anutin Sharvin Varakul visited a shelter for evacuees in the district on Friday, and told reporters he acknowledged the government's shortcomings in flood management. He says, I really have to apologize to them for letting this happen during the time I am in government, he said, in footage broadcast on Amaran TV. The next step is to prevent the situation from deteriorating, he added, announcing a 2-week time frame for the district's cleanup. Says the Thai government rolled out relief measures for those affected by the flooding, including compensation of up to 2 million baht, which is equivalent to $62,000, for households that lost family members. As flood waters receded, shop owner Rakane Remsringham picked through rubbish strewn between the aisles of his general goods store, lamenting hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses. His store, Madam Young, was looted and vandalized in the wake of the disaster, he said. That's common as well, People start panicking, the people start losing their shit. We seen that with the events that happened in 2020 and stuff like that. People were going and stocking up on toilet paper of all things, right? Just doing things that are not normal or somewhat out of body, you could say. It says there has been growing public criticism of Thailand's flood response, and 2 local officials have been suspended over their alleged failures. And an MP from the opposition People's Party criticized the administration, saying it wrongly estimated the situation and made errors in handling the flood crisis. One victim of the flood informed, I'm done trying to pronounce these keyboard smash ass last names, told Reuters she and 7 members of her family spent 48 hours perched atop a table, a window frame, and a washing machine on the 2nd floor of her home in the city of Hat Yai. Which, if this happened in America, it would be way worse. Way worse, nigga, way worse. It would be way worse because the government wouldn't FEMA not gonna do nothing for you. I'm gonna just be honest. The government won't. We've seen this in the past few, you know what I'm saying, natural disasters, quote unquote, that have happened over here in the States. So they ain't got no money for you, man. It says, which received 13 inches of rain last Friday, its highest single day tally in 300 years. Hey man, I'm telling you, the Lord making record-breaking numbers, man. He's not playing. It says, we weren't thinking about anything else except surviving. The 44-year-old Reuters by candlelight as her family began to clean their dwelling after the water had receded. 2 people were deleted in Malaysia by flooding caused by heavy rain that left stretches of northern Peru's state underwater. The annual monsoon season, typically between June and September, often brings heavy rain, triggering landslides and flash floods. Change has affected storm patterns, which y'all the ones that's changing the climate, motherfucker, including the duration and intensity of the season, leading to heavier rainfall, flash flooding, and stronger wind gusts. Or maybe it could be just because the Lord is just bringing forth strong judgment, right? 2 Ezra 16:1 says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand, right? All of these nations are about to receive judgment from the Lord in the coming days, with an emphasis on Babylon the Great, America, and that land over there that's occupied by the small hat people. Best believe that the Lord is coming to put belt to ass. So, like I always say, man, we just got to continue doing what we doing, continue doing the work, and it's all going to play out according to how the Lord sees fit. So, with that being said, I'll close it off there. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahaha Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom.